Um, Here we go. So, this is Mega Man 9. I am Robo Ridley. I'll be commenting the run for Handsome Jack. And as you can see, we are starting with Concrete Man. Fairly straightforward stage. Not a whole lot to note other than well, 3 kind of mini bosses. The elephants coming up in just about 2 rooms. There's going to be a lot of mashing for them, as we have no weapons to fight them with. You might have noticed that we started, like, unlike most Mega Man game where we start on the title screen, Mega Man 9 has the little quirks that we start directly on the stage, like the timer on the stage select screen. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure why, but I'd assume it's because there's additional menus between the title screen and the stage select screen, so that we don't lose time on timer from those additional menus. But yeah, those were the elephants you saw real quickly. They don't last very long. Like I said, you just smash through them, and then you just make your way through the stage to Concrete Man. Yeah. These blocks fall according to the arrows. The red ones go up as the arrow is pointing, the green ones go down. Concrete Man has 3 attacks. He can charge like he just did, drop 1 or 3 concrete blocks, depending on where you are from him, and he can go up and jump, well, ground pound. If he ground pounds and you're still on the floor, you'll get stunned, kind of like Hardman in Mega Man 3. That's why you saw Jack jump as Concrete Man was coming down. But now we're done. Clean fight. So next, we're going for 2 Magma Man. There are 2 options here, Magma or Galaxy. Doesn't really matter which one you go for second, as you don't really need any particular weapon to beat those 2 stages other than Concrete. So, use a block here so we don't fall and die. A little thing to note with Concrete blocks that you can see in Magma Man stage is that there's some small zips you can do with blocks, where Mega Man shoots a block, and as you keep walking, you're like in the block's hitbox. So if you hop, you'll zip slightly out of the block. It's a little faster to do that little zip there instead of just walking. Dragon takes 5 blocks. Dies pretty quickly. Just keep going. Oh, there's probably the biggest, quote-unquote, biggest zip in this game in Magma Man stage. You'll see upcoming in, not this room, the other one. You can freeze a Boo Beam, those, like, magma pillars, with concrete. And there's one that we can be in its hitbox just slightly, and if we can just walk through it. Oh, it was that one, but we opted for safer strats. It doesn't look like much, but it can ruin your run. It's still a fairly difficult strat to pull off. You have to be on the right pixel. Magma Man's pretty straightforward. He jumps high or he jumps slow. You just react according to his jump, and you just spam him with busters. Good so far. And that was Magma Man. It's a fairly easy fight. Magma is impossible. Next up, I believe, will be Galaxy Man. Oh, Hornet Man. It doesn't matter. You can go Hornet or Galaxy. Galaxy doesn't need Hornet. Hornet doesn't need Black Hole Bomb. So you can go either one of them. The first 5 stages, there's no really set path for them, except that you need concrete for both Galaxy and Magma, so you absolutely need to start with concrete. And then for after that, Hornet Man needs Magma, and Jewel Man needs well, yeah, you normally would do Jewel Man after Hornet. You need the Hornets. I'll explain that later, but you need Hornets and Black Hole Bomb. Also Magma. Yeah, so yeah. The flower mini boss there that you saw can spawn on any of 6 platforms, either top left, top right, left rightmost, leftmost, or bottom left. I've never yeah, left. I've never seen it pop, like, show up on bottom right on the first cycle, but it can go there as well, and the top one, obviously. But yeah. So Hornet Man's coming up. Hornet Man is on a set pattern. There's absolutely no RNG to him, unlike the previous 2 bosses. We can charge Magma Bazooka for more damage, and there we go. We're done with Hornet Man. Magma can really shred that boss. We're gonna get Hornet Chaser. All right, now we're going Galaxy Man. Galaxy is the one robot master with well, him and Tornado Man have the worst RNG. Galaxy, especially known to waste your time. We'll see if he gives us a good pattern or if he just does not want to cooperate. Right. Nothing too complicated for the first 2 screens. Just go through the warp. Here we have some like claw enemies. I forget their names, but we want them to grab Mega Man. They go much faster than just walking, as you can see. More teleporters. It's mostly Rush Coil here. There are other strats, but they're all good. This one helicopter enemy we don't want to grab because he would bring us back to the spike wall and kill Mega Man. So that's a big no. This one we grab him, jump accordingly, not to get hit and die, and then yeah, more teleporters, and we're going to Galaxy fight. Good concrete block there. Alright, let's see the RNG. Please, Galaxy. Ah. So that's the worst pattern he can give you. Normally you'd want at least 1 swoop. But we didn't get any. Not good guy Galaxy. It's all good though. Fight's done, so we can move on. Jewel should be next. Now that we have every weapon we need for Jewel Man stage. Unless Jack opts for another stage, but I'd be surprised. One thing to note here is that, yeah, Jewel Man, is that as Mega Man, you don't have Rush Jet until you've beaten your 5th stage. That's why we don't go Plug Man or Splash Woman or Tornado Man before we beat 6th stage, because we need Rush Jet for all 3 of these stages. Some damage boosting through the cannon. Go. We'll be switching to Hornet, and this is where Hornet comes in handy to deal with these spiders, and then for the upcoming mini boss. So the mini boss stays in on the ceiling for a while, and then he comes down, but it takes a long time. We could just shoot Hornets, and they'll find his place and bring him down. As far as I know, it's the only weapon that actually can get him down faster like this. Even if you use Tornado, he'll stay up in the air, and you'll just have to wait for a long time. It's not very optimal. Although, I mean, I guess 4 tornadoes would kill him. But we don't have tornado here, so it doesn't matter. Alright, so Magma through the rest of the stage, switch to Black Hole Bomb, being Jewel Man's weakness, and a pretty good weapon overall. It's a little slow, but it pretty much kills any small enemy in one hit. So Jewel Man jumps as you jump. That's why you see Jack hopping. It's to manipulate Jewel Man's pattern, I guess. He's on a set pattern, but he'll jump as you jump, as I said. So you can manipulate him to go over you, to just jump on your bomb, etc., etc. Good fight. So next, we'll see. We can go Plugman or Splash Woman. We'll see what Jack wants to do. Plugman it is. Alright, so Plugman has rooms with Yoku blocks. If you're not familiar with Yoku blocks, they are a staple in Mega Man series. They're those disappearing blocks. They disappear and reappear on a certain pattern. And in Plugman, they're actually on a set timer or global timer. So they start as the stage start for this room at the very least. So you really cannot, if you want the right pattern for your strat, you can't really mess up the first half of the stage, which hasn't happened. Jack did it perfectly, so we got the good pattern. And then there are more blocks here, but these we don't really care about them, as we'll just rush jet through. There is another last room with blocks, though, that which, you know, you need a certain pattern for. We'll pick up the E-Tank for safety for later in the run. It doesn't cost too much time. I think we'll still be fine on the last Yoku block room pattern timer, I mean. Yeah, we're good. Going to wait a bit for that safety. There we go. Good stage, good stage. Then there's a Stomper here. We can... missed it. But there's a way to jump over him as the Stomper kind of winds up his jump. You can jump over him. It's hard to do, though. I know I personally can't do it. So. And, yep. Plugman's weak to Jewel Satellite. He can't damage you with his weapon while you have the shield around you. And you just make quick work of him. Good fight. Good stage. Now we should be going to, I believe, Splash Woman. But I think Tornado would still be possible if Jack chose to go Tornado Man. As you don't really need Splash Woman's weapon for Tornado, so... Alright, Splash Woman next. So Splash Woman is obviously underwater, so we have to deal with water physics. Water physics in Mega Man 9 make you jump higher, but also fall from your jump much slower. Horizontal movement isn't affected really, it's really just your jump. These mines activate when you shoot at them or when you're in proximity. They chase you around and then eventually they explode. Not that we mind in this stage. They're not much of a bother. Coming up is a bubble kind of auto-scroller, similar to Waveman's bubble section. We use Rush Jet to skip most of it. But there's the small bubbles. The big bubbles never break. You can stand on them for 3 years if you want. But the small bubbles do break, so we have to be careful about when we jump on them. We're going for a bit of a safer strat here, so we don't die to the spikes in this room, which is all fine. Safe is good. Here we go. That was the bubble skip. Oh, bit of damage. That's fine. We're just going to reset the room, and here we go. Jet through most of that. Here as well, reset. Rush Jet spawns where you are. So if you call him down and you jump, he will stop his fall kind of at where Mega Man is. So that's why Jack resetted the room there, because he spawned. He called Jet and then jumped a little too early, so Rush Jet spawned too high, he couldn't get on him. Ah, thank you. Alright, bees to... underwater bees to beat fish. That makes sense, but... Mega Man logic. So... Splash Woman is also on a set timer, just like Jewel Man and Hornet Man. There's really no RNG danger here, other than sometimes Hornet behaving weirdly, but we didn't see that here, so it's all good. Tornado Man up next, and he will be our last 8 Robot Master. Most of Tornado. So Tornado Man has a lot of pits. There are 2 rooms in particular that have basically no floor. We'll be using Rush Jet through those. And there are 2 rooms with wind mechanic late in the stage. We'll be seeing those later. But the first one has wind pushing Mega Man in his face, so making your forward jumps a little harder, as you can't jump as far as you normally would. And then the second room with wind has the wind pushing Mega Man in the back, so your jumps are much wider, much longer, I should say. Feel the little off-screen hot air balloon there to get the refill. Yeah, other than those 2 rooms with wind, as I mentioned, it's a pretty standard stage. There's nothing. There's not a whole. How to say this? There's not. It's just you make your way through the stage. Really, no real big weapon swapping or anything. So here's the first win room. You can notice Mega Man's horizontal speed decrease as he jumps. But it doesn't affect Rush Jet, at least, so we use Rush Jet here to not only go over the gap, but not deal with the wind. And here, we'll be using the wind to our advantage. Jump to go faster. Jump longer. Make our way through these blocks. And good stage, good stage. Tornado Man is the second boss with a lot of RNG. Depending on the pattern he gives us, at first he can be a quick fight or a painful fight. He can go up to 4 levels, and he's being a nice guy. He stayed on the floor, so this should be a quick fight. There we go. He could go like up in the air but low and mid, or he can go up to the ceiling. You do not want him to go to the ceiling. That's the slowest pattern for obvious reasons. That you have to jump and you can only like hit him twice in that as he's up to the ceiling. Jumps are higher, so it's a lot longer. But he didn't do that. He was actually a nice guy, so Jack could beat him very quickly. And now we're going to Wily stages. If there are some donations, you can read them now. We have a bit of a cutscene here.
All right, as we get into the Wily stages here, we're just going to talk a little bit about the donation incentives that we have going on. After Mega Man 5 and Mega Man 4, after this, Eldra's going to be doing Comet Striker, and there's a Labyrinth mode showcase for that. It's currently halfway there. And we're also almost at $2,000 as well. We're at 1930. Nice. So yeah, I'll just hand it back over to you now, Ridley, as we start Wily 1 here.
All right, cool. Thank you. So, Wily 1, we used Jet a lot at first to skip these platforms you're seeing right now. These are activated with Tornado Blow, and they go up, but we can also just never mind them and use Jet to go through them and not deal with, you know, having to wait for the platforms to go up and all those shenanigans. Also, we can keep Tornado for later in Wily stages. In Mega Man 9, Wily stages work the same way as other Mega Man games, whereas weapon you use don't get refilled at the end of the stage. So you have to be careful with what you use when. If you need a certain weapon for, say, Wily 2, you can't use it too much in Wily 1, otherwise you won't have enough in Wily 2. So that's why we're not using a whole lot here. That's also why, as I said, we're not using Tornado earlier in the stage. And we're just sticking to Rush Jet, for the most part. There we go. Also know the music when I'm not talking. It's so good. Go. Damage boost, and we're through. So, spike pushers have a bit of RNG, but mostly their mechanic consists of them pushing the spikes very slowly, or in the orange spike pusher's case, he'll have one charge shot every now and then that pushes the spike ball a little further, but you just push them back to them. They're invincible to everything but their own spike balls, so we have no other choice but to mash them, which makes this fight a little painful. As you notice also, when they're done pushing the ball to the left, the ball comes back to the center of the stage and they start trying to snipe you. That's their second attack. But you can easily avoid those if you see them coming, so just jump, and that's pretty much it. That's spike pushers. There's not a whole lot to them. Wily 2 now, that's, in my opinion, hands down the scariest stage in the whole game. There's a lot of spikes, there's a lot of pits, there's a water segment. There's some RNG, the boss is brutal, but you might see, hopefully we won't see why. I don't think so. Jack is good. So we jet the first part of the stage, jump on the gap here. Joes have a shield, but Mega Man can shoot through it, so we don't care about their shield. We just walk close enough and then shoot through it. Turn them to stone, or concrete rather. Skip this part, and then, yeah, there we go. Flower again. It's not very good RNG, but we'll just have to deal with that. It's not the worst one. At least he spawned to the left, not to the right. The right would be the worst spot. But it's all good. So water segment works the same as Splash Woman, just with a lot of spikes. These mines can be activated, as I said earlier, when you shoot them, and Trident goes through enemies, so we could activate the two last one with one Trident. These green blocks can only be destroyed with Splash Trident, or a Laser Trident rather. So that's why we changed to Trident here. Now we're out of the water. That was pretty good. And we're next to long ladders, which we'll just use coil for those, because who wants to go up all the way? Like, who wants to go all the way up these ladders? Take too long. Jump to get in the gap here. Go. Break these UFOs out. We're taking damage here, so we don't have to deal with the Stomper. We just walk through him using the iframes. And Mecha Mech Shark, the stage boss. Mecha Mech Shark has 3 parts: tail, mid, and head. The tail part is pretty simple. He shoots 3 torpedoes, I guess. Just destroy them, break his tail, and then the mid part. The spikes here don't kill you one hit, but they do some fair amount of damage. We can still use them for the iframes to keep shooting back and forth between the 2 pods. And now, that was quick. The phase, it's only a cannon. Just shoot him when he opens his mouth, and we're done. He really didn't make it look all that hard, but believe me, this boss is very stressful. He does a fair amount of damage, and having 3 parts. Yeah, but Jack made it look good, so we're through. And now Wily 3. Save for Bubbles and Splash Woman, this is the only other stage that has what you'd probably call auto-scrolling. It's basically sort of elevator rooms where you just hang out and wait and just wait. That's all there is to these 3 rooms. So, what else? There's another segment like this later in Wily 3, with more spikes, though, to be fair. You have to be careful. We can't just do whatever. There's really not much to Wily 3, other than that. If you want to read a donation real quick, you have one.
Yeah, so we have one from Inea, 5MK, donated $10. Simply saying, let's bring some guys over. And let's do that.
Yeah.
3 guys to bring over.
Thank you. In this elevator segment, quote unquote, we'll be grabbing the M-Tank. We don't really have any other choice, seeing as you can see the spike pattern here, and we get grabbed by the claw dude. But the M-Tank will be useful after this room. So Jack goes for, normally you might have seen Splash Laser Trident here. You can also go Tornado, which Jack is doing. It's a little from what I know, it's a little safer to go Tornado. Oh, that sucks. We'll be taken back to just before the last elevator, so it's not too bad. It's a bit of a time loss due to how slow the elevators are, but it's fine. We'll still be good. We have an M-Tank. We'll see how Jack reacts to this. He could use the M-Tank early to replenish his Tornado, or he could try to go Splash Trident, Laser Trident, so we could see some of that. We'll see how he does it. Oh, or Buster. We'll be seeing the Buster only strats. Alright. Gonna take this a little safer. This is like Wily 3 as a whole isn't too bad, but this room is pretty scary as there are spikes all the way through this room on the ceiling. There are a lot of pits. Have to get closer. Yeah. All right. And then there are. Oh. Shoot. It's all good. It's all good. We'll just try again. Try again. You can do it. I believe. Let's go. You got this. So that room is really, as you can tell, like you can't jump too high, you can't jump too low, because if you jump too high, you have spikes. If you jump too low, there's a pit. It's really scary, which is weird considering, like I said earlier, the rest of the stage is pretty mellow. But that room right there, yeah, it can be brutal. Alright. Oh, that's a good refill, actually. Make sure we have enough Splash Trident. Oh, wow. Alright. Ooh, good dodge, good dodge. Oh. Yeah. There we go, there we go. You got this. Nice, nice. Alright. Taking it a little slow. Oh god. That met. It's all good. We picked up two extra lives earlier, actually. One in Splash Woman and one in Wily 1. So we have a bit of wiggle room here. Prevent game over. But even then, honestly, even if we game over, that would mean Jack would get all his weapon energy back. So that includes Tornado, which, as I was saying earlier, is, from what I know, at least a little safer than Splash Trident. It's definitely easier, as Tornado clears the entire screen. So you just shoot Tornado once and you keep going. The only thing you have to worry about is your jump. Alright, we got this. No, there won't be any resets. It's all good. Alright. Just gotta be careful here. Oh. That backwards. The damage boost. Alright, let's go, let's go. Don't give up, you can do it. Alright. We still have a lot of Trident, I believe, so we can still go with that. Yeah, we have a fair amount. If we get drops, that's even better. There's a lot. You have a lot of Splash Trident, by the way. Like, well, now it's empty, but I mean, when you have a full bar, you don't have one Trident per bar. You have, I think you have about 2 or 3. I think it's 2 per bar. You could go bomb if you're wondering. Alright. Gotta be careful because this guy can be dangerous. Taking it the slow route, that's all good. Make sure we get through this. Yes, let's go. Alright, so the life here is a Mimic, as you can see, so don't go and get it. Fetching it can be... yeah, can just lead to death. Sneaky Capcom. So, coming up is Twin Devil. Twin Devil's weakness is Black Hole Bomb, and there's a way to kill him one cycle. It's really tight though, so we might get Jack might opt to go for a 2 cycle, not waste any bomb. We'll see. 1 cycle. Missed 1 bomb. It's all good. So it's going to be a 2 cycle. Getting this 1 cycle is really tight. You have to basically you shoot your bomb, you open it up basically, and you have to time your pauses to despawn the bomb, and then use another bomb, and then pause. And you have to do this pause strat really quickly, so that you can spawn, despawn your bombs, and hit a Twin Devil like 5 times in his first cycle. And it doesn't look like much, but he does move really fast. But 2 cycle is also pretty good. It loses some time, but it's not too bad. And now it's Wily. We're up to Wily 4. We'll be using the M tank to replenish everything. We could have waited a little later in the stage, but normally you do it earlier than later, to not lose too much time on the healing, basically. M-Tank heals everything. You don't need everything to beat Wily or the refight. Well, refights yes, but not Wily. So you don't want to heal what you don't need, right? That's why Jack used it at the start of the stage. We'll be going to refights just now after this fall. You'll see Jack take a pause before the teleporter. Oh, he did. All right. Normally, what you do is you pause because you can manipulate Galaxy, but it's on a timer so that he doesn't jump like this. Normally, you manipulate him so that he gives you 2 swoops. But from what I know, it is on a timer. It's pretty precise, or fairly precise at least. Nice. Alright. So, yeah. Plugman next. Plugman's the same, fairly the same as during 8 Robot Master Fights, save for 2 additional RNG patterns. But really, it's a straightforward fight. You use Jewel Satellite and you destroy him. Tornado is the same, just with added spikes. 2 sets of added spikes on the ceiling. But there we go. That's really it. It's the same amount of RNG. Magma is exactly the same. Tornado goes through him a lot though. By that I mean like it does a lot of damage to him. There we go. Hornet, again, exactly the same. No RNG set pattern. You just use Magma Bazooka, you charge it up, and you shred the boss. There we go. Jewel, same as the previous 3 bosses, same thing. No RNG set pattern as well. Make him jump, manipulate his movement. He did not learn from the past fight. Same for Splash. Actually, they're all the same, save for Plug with added RNG and Galaxy. Not Galaxy, my bad. Tornado with more spikes. Everything else is exactly the same. We end with Concrete because we want Laser Trident for Wily Phase 1. Now, Wily has 3 phases. The Egg-Spitting Dinosaur, the Egg-Spitting Dinosaur without the skull, and Wily Capsule, or the UFO. So as you can see, it goes really quickly with Splash. You can't damage his face with anything but his eggs. So, but with Trident, we can bounce them back to his face really quickly. And his mouth is weak to Concrete, but if you run out of Concrete due to Galaxy RNG or missing a block, you can go Magma. It does good. No need to charge though. Just standard magma. And that actually might, we'll see if Jack does it, but using magma here actually gives you an edge for the third phase. Yeah. So you charge it, and then you shoot as his health refills, and you can actually sneak in a hit right there. While he can keep low, go mid, or go high, you want him low as much as possible. Otherwise, you can't really hit him. Or there, you can hit him twice there. Ooh, ah. Alright, that's not too bad. Yes, alright. And that's time. That was decent RNG. GG, Jack. Good run.